In this video, we will be setting up a Microsoft Word template with the layout of an experimental report. First, we will apply the necessary styles. Click in the Styles gallery on the title style and then Modify. We will change the font to Cambria. Ensure the size is 18, make it bold, black, and then justify it so that it is center justified. Then go to the paragraph page. We will change the spacing to be 0 beforehand, 15 afterwards, and the line spacing to be 1.5. So now, if we write a title, it will automatically apply the style. Let's do this for the rest. For this one, we will apply a left-right justification, such that it is flush on both the left and the right margins. Now for heading 2, ensure that it is black, and this one will also be left-right justified. Now for the normal style, it will also be left-right justified. Paragraph. Finally, for the caption, you may need to scroll down in the styles gallery. Ensure that it is Cambria, 12, unbold, center, and then you will notice here that it is in small caps, so we will change that to be in sentence capitalization. Ensure that the spacing is 0, 12, and single. Alright, let's create a cover page. If you haven't done so already, ensure that your formatting marks are showing by pressing the Pilcrow button. Right. Let's apply 3 spaces and ensure that they are normal. Thereafter, we will apply a name, let's say Joe Blogs, a module code, and a date. Right. We can right justify these, and we can add a few spaces. Center this, and let's increase the font size a little bit. There we go. Now, titles are typically written in sentence capitalization, and they are repeated on the title page. Now, if you're going to print a document, This cover page will typically be printed on specially textured or even colored paper. You can think of this as the front of a book. So, the actual report starts then on the title page. If you're only writing a document that will be submitted electronically, you can leave out the cover page. Let's duplicate this. Right, on the title page, the title is the first thing, thereafter the student name, then the student number, shortly thereafter can add a bit more spacing and bring our last two lines back up again. Save. After the title page, the abstract has its own page. Again, we repeat the title, and then we'll use heading 1 for our abstract. Keywords are written in their own line. The rest of the page is blank. To create this, we'll insert a page break. Going to insert page break. Hereafter comes the contents page. We'll set this up later. And the final part of the front matter is then the nomenclature list. Again, we insert a page break, go back to home, heading 1, nomenclature. The nomenclature list can be created as follows. Go to Insert, Table, and select 3x5 table. To insert mathematical symbols in Word such that it applies the italic formatting, you can press Alt equals. Let's type the symbol B and call it a fitting constant in the unit of seconds. Thereafter, add V, call it velocity. If the report has many Greek letters, they are typically listed under a separate subheading. Again, press Alt equals, and now you can either select your Greek letters from this menu, if it's a dimensionless quantity, you can give it the unit of unity, or alternatively, you can type Greek letters like this. Backslash, row, space. To create a superscript, highlight the number and press this button. Great. We can now make the table smaller by going to Layout, Auto Fit, auto-fit contents. If you want, you can still add in a little bit of space here. To remove the grid lines, go to Table Design, Borders, No Borders. If you want, you can merge all of these cells to be a single row. Note how the other scarabs, those are table formatting marks, have disappeared. Finally, to reduce the spacing between rows, select the table, go back to Home, and click on the Line and Paragraph Spacing button. Click 1. If you have a particularly long nomenclature list, you can reduce the space further by removing the space after paragraph. We will now apply the page numbering. Typically, page numbers are not visible on the cover page, and numbering starts on the title page but is not shown either. We first see on page numbers on the abstract page. To ensure that the numbering is separate for every section, we will apply section breaks. To do this, I'm going to go to Layout, Breaks, select the next page section break. You may not see it, but if you center the date, you'll see that there is a section break separating the title page from the abstract page. I'm just going to delete this pilcrow. Now we have two sections. For our second section in the report, double-click at the bottom of the page, or alternatively, go to Insert and then Page Number. We apply page numbers either in the center or the right side of a page, depending on how the document will be printed. You may choose either or. You'll see that this 3 is as a result of the 1 and 2 on the previous sections. So, what we can do is say unlink this page number to the previous section, delete the page numbers here. They should be gone on both of the first 2 pages, but still be in the second section. Next, we will want to change them to become Roman numbers. So, under this tab, you can click Format Page Numbers and change them from Arabic numbers to Roman. We're going to start from 2. And this should still remain empty. 2, 3, 4. You can double click back on the page to remove yourself from the footer section. Now let's start with the content section of the report. Again, we will insert a break under Layouts, Breaks, Section Break. The first section of the document is the introduction. To ensure that our page numbering is now separate, we will double click on the footer, unlink it to the previous, format the page number, and return back to Arabic numbering. Here we will start from 1. Right, we can close the header and footer again. Let's apply the heading structure. You can do this by clicking on this list button and selecting this style, where every heading level is supplied with the appropriate number. Because of the previously used heading 1 styles, we need to restart it. This will be content, Thereafter, the theory section. Thirdly, experimental. Note the lowercase d because of sentence capitalization. We can apply subheadings as well. So select heading 2 and it should correctly number it. Results and discussion may employ both heading 2 and heading 3 styles. So for example, sometimes it'll be necessary to include an appendix for supporting information. Obviously, if you don't need it, you may delete it from the template later on. To create it, we're going to have to change the multi-level list format that we're using. Define new multi-level list, and let's go to heading number 5. Delete the first 4 numbers carefully, but leave the last one. Type appendix with a space and delete the period. We'll change the number style to ABC. Then, for heading number 6, we're going to delete the preceding 4 numbers as well. Ensure that you link this level to style, heading number 6, and this one to heading number 5. When we apply heading 5 now, it should look like this. Obviously, you should ensure that you modify the style to be Cambria 16 bold, left right justified, and the same spacing that we set for heading 1, because although it is heading 5, it should look like a heading 1 style. To create the subheading, if necessary, apply heading 6, and obviously ensure that it is Cambria 14 bold, left right justify, and under paragraph ensure that the spacing is similar to a heading 2 style. Because appendices are typically on their own pages, we will now of course enter another page break. Now we can finally add in the table of contents. Scroll back up, go to References, Table of Contents, and select the first one. It should automatically include everything for you, so we can remove this little word over here. Furthermore, we're going to remove the superfluous numbers, such as this one, the one for abstract, and the one for the nomenclature list. Let's update the table. Let's include the appendices now. Under Table of Contents, click Custom Table of Contents. Under Show Levels, select up to level 6. Options. We want to make sure that heading 5 looks like heading 1 and heading 6 looks like the Table of Contents level 2. There we go.